Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcorian Guides, bringing my guide for BioShock Infinite on 1999 mode without using any dollar bill machines. Today is going to be Comstock's in our rooftop. I know right now we're not technically on the rooftops, but we are now I think in the blue ribbon area or whatever it's called. Anyway, so this will be our first indoor area for the most part. And there will be some outside fights, and this is also I think the same level where I did die. Possibly. I don't remember. Anyway, so there's the Lutess twins. I think that's what their name was. They give you right here. You got some salt you could pick up, and this is where you get your shields at finally. So now we have two Vigors to work with: Possession and of course Devil's Kiss, which I'm not even going to bother with upgrading Devil's Kiss, but I will bother with upgrading Possession, and then I think in like the DLC. Or it's either DLC or the PS4 remaster version. There's actually a bunch of shit you could pick up there. So, you know, more power to you if you're playing PS4. I'm playing the PS3 version due to the fact that last time I played or tried playing the PS4 version, it basically essentially crashed on me. So I said, fuck it. Let's just go back in time and just, you know, go to the PS3 one. So the one I actually beat, you know, trust enough. I mean, yeah, I could have just beat, you know, the one on PS4 and had the trophy come up, but you guys see me select 1999 mode, so there you go. That should be good enough, right? So this will be a little bit of a harder fight to deal with because not only do we have, you know, enemies that basically club you to death, but we also have, of course, enemies with pistols and enemies with machine guns. So yes, there will be a new gun inbound, and right here you can jump down here and just grab some loot. But yeah, there will be a new gun inbound, and now we have shields to work with, too. Now, even though we do have shields, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're completely protected. You know, these things break real fast, and when they break, you take damage from it, too. At least that's what it feels like to me. So what I was doing there was I was trying to do a little trick that I wouldn't say I came up with, but it's just one of those things where I just started utilizing more often, was the Skyline Strikes, because Skyline Strikes do save you a lot of trouble. I mean, yeah, you will get shot, you know, during air if, you know, you happen to go straight into enemy territory, but for the most part, generally, you can get a pretty good, you know, one-hit KO on somebody with a Skyline Strike. There are gear that does work towards Skyline Strikes, so if you're into that kind of stuff, then, you know, by all means, go ahead and do it. I was charging up a Devil's Kiss because that pretty much implants a bomb to the ground. Possession, I think you can do it. I think you can do it with practically every single type of Vigor, actually. You can hold them down and do specific, like, different techniques with it. So, I'm staying back over here and kind of keep my distance away from going up too far. And the reason being is because there's a lot of enemies that are here that I just don't want to put up with. There's also going to be a turret up on that ship right there to the left of us. I forgot where it was at first. And then I started getting shot, and I was like, what the hell was that? And then I know it's like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, you know, fucking turret. And then I accidentally hit, you know, the side of the wall there with my Devil's Kiss, and that pissed me off. I was like, are you kidding me? It happens multiple times, guys. I'm not even joking. So this time around, I decided to go ahead and just not waste the Vigor. There's plenty of ammo I can get in this area, so I just go ahead and just waste down the turret itself. Also, for anybody that doesn't know, if you set up a trap, you know, like that with Devil's Kiss or Possession Aid, if somebody runs in the vicinity of that you know, where you know, threw down the ability, I can't freaking speak, I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say, they will essentially blow up or, you know, get attacked by Possession Aid or whatever, you know, Possession Aid. Why do I keep saying that? It's Possession. I'm such a dipshit. Possession Aid is the upgrade for it. There's like 2 upgrades to it, I think. Yeah, I'm not a whack, guys. I'm completely just dumb. I don't know what the hell is going on. Anyway, this is one of my personal favorite weapons right here. But I've actually started to grow more enjoyment toward the pistol. I always liked the pistol. It's just now I'm starting to like it even more. Like, it's definitely a really good weapon. Especially if we go for headshots, too. That shit will take dudes out. So, here we're going to have a couple more enemies spawning. It's just an extra wave of enemies. Again, if you do die here, I don't believe there's a penalty to it. There shouldn't be, at least. I didn't think I got one. But we'll find out when I actually do die. So, stand right here, behind this cover right here, and just beat these guys off. Just try to stay back and away from them. Use machine gun, pistol, whichever you want. You could use your, you know, you can use your Vigor. If you wanted to, you know, essentially just burn them to death. That could also work too. I think it does shoot out like a fireball no matter what. I think, you know, like if you hold it down, it sticks to the ground or to a wall. But if you were to just shoot it off normally, you know, in my case with L1, then you would pretty much just, you know, throw out like a normal fireball. Kind of like Incinerate was back in BioShock 1 and 2, except instead of being instantaneous, it just, you know, you have to actually lob it over and then hit somebody with it. So it's kind of cool. One thing I want to take note of, I know a lot of people, you guys have heard this for years already. You know, every time I play BioShock, I always talk about BioShock Infinite, don't I? And now we're finally, you know, going full circle. And you're probably wondering, like, my full detail on, like, what I feel about BioShock Infinite. Well, I'll give you a rundown. I hate the writing. I absolutely hate the writing. I think it's just fucking garbage. I hate the story. This is my opinion. You know, if you guys like it, sure, that's fine. I don't personally like it. Calling it garbage is kind of a bad way of putting it. I just don't appreciate it. But I do love the gameplay. I think the game is fun to play. It does have its moments where it does piss me off or get boring, but, you know, that's with any game. So I can't harken for that. I just feel like the creator, you know, Ken Levine, just didn't... He had something in his head, you know, when he was making this game, and it just didn't come out right, I guess, is what I feel like to me. You know, this game had so much potential when it was coming out, and then it just, for me, it fell flat. You know, Last of Us was the same way, except it actually didn't fall flat. It did a really damn good job. It was the same way in the sense that, you know, it had a ton of potential was coming out, and it actually delivered. I feel like it really did a damn good job on what I wanted it to be. It even better than that, you know, it was even better than what I expected. Keep this place in mind, by the way. We will be coming back here later. There's going to be a key that we get from one of the Crow members. So once you pick up that key, you come back here and there's an infusion in a safe. So yeah, once I get there, something weird's going to happen there too, where I don't know if this is just PS3 version or if it's PS4 or even if Xbox or PC does it. I'm not sure. I don't know. This happened to me, but essentially I ran up to the cult when I was in there fighting the guys, you know, with the crow masks, or not the crow masks, but, you know, those fucking like hooded guys, those racist KKK members, you know. Well, yeah, of course they're racist. They're KKK members, duh. That's the cool Klux Klan, right? No, anyway, so when I went to go, you know, fight them off, that cult of, or whatever you want to call them, KKK, whatever. I don't know what the shit they are. I don't remember. So one of them, I essentially attack one at a time because like one of them notices me at a time, and not all of them like group up and to come fight me. It's so strange. So I'm over here looking around like, what the hell? You know, like, am I missing something? No, not necessarily. I was just at this point in time, I thought I was missing something, and I also thought, you know, why is the turret not shooting at me? Did I blow it up or something, or am I just safe? I'm in the safe zone. And as it turned out, I'm pretty much in the safe zone. So once you get down here, the turret probably will not shoot at you anymore. There's no reason to go back up there until later. Like, you don't even have to go all the way back to, like, you know, the bar. There's no need for that. Unless you miss something, then you can go back. Which is also a good thing about this game, too. You can go back, but only in particular sections. Meaning that if I was to go to, like if a blimp was to blow up, I can't just go back there. You know, areas that make sense. So that's much better than what BioShock 2 was doing. And I will congratulate Infinite for doing that. I will give credit where credit's due. You know, I have to. It's just in my nature, you know. I can't just completely shit on this game and vex, you know, all my life. You know, I have to at least give some context to the reasons why I just don't particularly like those games for, and what I thought, you know, at least was enjoyable about them when I did play them myself. Same thing goes for Ghost of Sparta, which I am currently playing right now. Yeah, I bet people are probably wondering, like, you're playing that one. Why not what about the new God of War? Yeah, I pre-ordered it, got it Thursday, played it, loved it, and I had to work today on Sunday, so I didn't really have much time to play this weekend. I had so many videos to work on, and I essentially decided just to say fuck it yesterday and just play Ascension, play the rest of it, get the two trophies I needed for the Platinum, got that done, got Chains of Olympus done, Platinum, and now I'm working on Ghost of Sparta. So, Yeah, I'm trying the best I can to catch up. And also, one of these days, I want to find me a emulator for God of War Betrayal. That'd be nice, because I've never played that game before. So luckily for me right there, I did have possession, so I can at least use the turret to my advantage, which I highly recommend that every time you see a turret, not every time, but most of the time you see a turret, and especially in like group fights like this, I would highly recommend that you possess it. That way it can help you out a lot in the long run. Possessing normal enemies just really doesn't do it for me. I mean, yeah, there is, you know, the possession A that you get later on that allows it to whenever you possess an enemy, you can essentially have them commit suicide straight after they, you know, they get unpossessed. Well, not really unpossessed. They're still possessed at that point, but they kill themselves. So, it's kind of interesting. Also, an interesting little fact that I remember hearing from a long time ago. Whenever you get possession for the first time, there's all that talking that goes on in your head. It's actually, I guess, reciting Romeo and Juliet backwards or something. Something like that. It's kind of cool. And there's also like some kind of like chick that flies around, you know, the person. I don't know. I wonder what would happen if you possess like a female enemy. Would it be like a male character that, you know, flies around them, or would it be a female as well? Because I don't know. I never really like test it out because I just don't give a shit. You know, to me, they're all enemies. I don't care what they look like, what they are. If you're shooting me, you die. Simple enough. And, you know, that's what I always loved about BioShock. Like, they never had any, like, you know, disdain for any particular kind of characters. Like, it just felt natural. It just felt like, you know, one of those games that made sense. And I know a lot of people, you know, bitch and complain all the time about, you know, females not being in games and stuff like that. Like, no female enemies and what have you. And, you know, it's up to the game developer, I feel like, to decide what they want to do. You know what I mean? Just, that's how I feel. Alright, this was a complete fuck-up on my part because he chased me straight into this room, and he essentially blew me up along with it. I tried to hide behind the sink, but this little motherfucker came running right in. So, oh no, you do lose money. You do lose money. You do lose some money. Okay, so I was wrong about that. There is a penalty to doing it, but you can still come back. Okay, so here I'm thinking, you know, I'm a cool guy. You know, if you want to die, go ahead, but no, there's a slight penalty. I don't remember how much money I lost, but probably wasn't enough to really, you know, really hurt me that much anyway. I don't remember how it works. I think it's like if you die, you know, multiple times over and over and over again, the money count will raise to bring you back, I think. That's how I think it works. So, already, you know, 2 episodes in, I'm already wrong. Well, 1 episode, technically, because the first episode I did, I said it there, and I was completely buttfuck wrong. And I know people are going to write in the comments, you know, before even watching this video, and they're like, you're fucking wrong. You die, you have to pay money. It's like, oh, I know now. Okay, it just, when I was playing the game, when I was recording this at the time, I didn't see the money prompt come up. So, in my mind, I thought, oh, okay, you don't pay unless Elizabeth's there. But no, that's bullshit, you do. I just didn't know because I'm a twat, okay? I'm a twat. It happens. I learned my lesson. Jeez, let's get on with it. Move on. So, yeah, I guess apparently they took out the turret without me even noticing. So, saves me the trouble, right? I did die with the fire guy. That can't happen. I mean, this first part of the game is really tough, all things considered, because of, you know, the firemen basically spawning just constantly. They really do get on my nerves, especially when we get to we're going to find Slade. I think his name was, or Slate. What the hell his name was? I forget. We got to find that jackass, you know. Either kill him or don't. It's one of those stupid moral shit things that don't even really matter in this game. That's another thing too. Like, I don't care. And there's also the whole race situation that's going on, and even then I don't care. But there's one thing that I do care about in terms of moral choice, and this actually can help you. I probably should have mentioned in episode 1, but I completely forgot about it. There is a gear that you can get, not at the raffle, but okay. So when you're doing the raffle, you have the choice to throw a baseball either at the announcer or at the, you know, interracial couple. If you choose to throw it at the interracial couple, they probably won't come back and give you a gear for it. But if you try to throw it at the announcer, later on in the game, I noticed that they actually gave me, they were standing, somewhere, and they basically said thank you for being, not being an asshole. And they gave me a piece of gear for it, so I had an extra piece of gear, and I was like, all right, I'll take it, If you be kind and genuine, then, kindness will come back and repay you, pretty much. You will be repaid for your kindness, which is, I think the only fucking time that happens in this game. I like the idea of moral choices in games. Don't get me wrong. I play Infamous. I love Infamous. I love BioShock. 1, 2, just fucking stupid. But, this just didn't do it for me. This really just didn't feel like I had much of a choice, I guess. I mean, yeah, some cosmetic stuff here and there, but that's it. So I think what I fucked up was... Hopefully it was pretty obvious enough. Okay, these look like church gowns, not necessarily KKK members. Well, they almost do. It might be church. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not gonna... I don't fucking know. I'm stupid, alright? So, essentially... I shot out of possession on accident, and I think that might have triggered one of the enemies to come up to try to hit me, and then these two started coming up here, and then I killed them off. Now, this is not a guaranteed positive way of doing it. I don't recommend running out and shooting off a Viger straight away. You can shoot your gun probably, and essentially maybe even lure them out. I don't know, because I think once you run down here, once you run to a certain threshold, that's when I think the main bad guy will pretty much say, oh, I'm out of here. Fuck that bullshit. They caught us. And then just try to kill you. Later. You will fight him later, but, you won't fight him here. So I'm just going to stand back here, take my time, just pick these guys off one by one, because it saves me the trouble, necessarily. This part, on itself, is not that hard. Not really. The harder parts come up pretty much later, especially when you have so many fucking retards to deal with. It just gets ridiculous. For the most part, this game's not too tough, not too terribly tough, but it can be kind of intimidating for sure. And I even get intimidated sometimes too, just playing it, scared that, a fireman's gonna come out and fuck me. Or even, especially later when you have to go fight a handyman, and I forget how to do the one trick. There's one in the shantytown area. There's a trick with it, and I forget how to do it, but you can hide somewhere, essentially, and just shoot him without even getting hit, so that'll help out later. The first thing I upgraded is shields. Now, I want to make this clear. I kept telling myself, there's no point, but I just kept doing it. I kept upgrading shields because I felt like that would be good enough. In my opinion, I don't really think so. I mean, nothing... either one doesn't really matter. You can't fully upgrade all of them anyway. I think there's 25 infusions total, I believe. Or whatever they call them, transfusions, something like that. I think there's 25 of those bottle chemical things in the game, essentially, or 26. So, you can't get everything upgraded. It's the BioShock 2 dilemma, once again. You can't get everything in one playthrough. And it kind of pisses me off that they would do that. I mean, it's funny, I count that down to, BioShock 2. I always say, oh, it's BioShock 2, you can't upgrade everything in one run. It's fucking bullshit. But what I should be saying is you can't upgrade... Well, it's the power to the people problem from 2. How about that? Because you can't actually upgrade everything in BioShock 1 either. You can get all the power to the people stations, upgrade every weapon, yes, but you can't upgrade every, plasmid. You can't do it there. You have to do New Game Plus to do that for that. So. And I don't think BioShock 2 even had one, and I don't think this game even has New Game Plus either, to be honest with you. Alright, so once you come back here, once you get that key off the desk, you're going to come back here, and you're gonna have another firefight again. You can skip this, or you can just keep fighting them, like I did. Because essentially, whenever I kill these guys, I do get money from it, and it helps out a ton in this game. This game is really heavily reliant on money. You use money for almost everything. It upgrades your guns, upgrades your upgrades your guns and your weapons. Upgrade your guns and your Vigers. I'm going to call them Viger, tomato, whatever. So it upgrades your Vigers, and it also you can buy stuff in the dollar bill machine, but I'm not doing that. Essentially, the only thing that this run has any thing to do with 1999, okay, so this is a 1999 mode run without using dollar bill machines. The only thing that dollar bill machine really adds is essentially basically, you know, pretty much being like a 300-pound woman going on a diet. You know, like you're trying to, or just, she's cutting out Oreos, but, you know, she's still eating fucking half the cheese at Walmart. So you're still getting the whole supply of what you're doing. You know, it's still difficult to do what you do, but, you know, God, man, you know, those Oreos, man, you know, you just want them, right? That's the thing. That's the key trick. But you're cutting them out. You know, you're telling yourself, you know, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, it's one of those, you're procrastinating. That's all it really is. It doesn't really hurt anything at all. It doesn't really fucking help nothing either. Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, buying stuff from Dollar Bill Machine. Why do I keep repeating myself? Buying stuff from Dollar Bill Machine does help. There's supplies you can buy from there. But really, this just kind of like gets in. You get it in your brain if you do it enough. Where you just flat out ignore it. You don't really need it because there's nothing essentially in there. You can get, like there, for instance. I'm back to full salts. I'm full health. Full shields, of course. Shields regenerate, by the way. If you guys didn't know that. You know, I got plenty of ammo. You know, I'm doing just fine on my own. You don't need the Dollar Bill Machine. It's not that big of a hindrance, really. Now, with Beta Chambers from BioShock 1 and 2, I think so. Because, you know, the whole ability of dying and coming back to life is really kind of a key aspect in that game. You know, it really does help you out. But you can still necessarily do it just fine. Without, but it's a lot bit harder. But with the Dollar Bill Machine, it's not really that much of a problem. That's just me, though. You know, I'm sure most of you guys, you know, your first time around doing this, you're gonna be scared shitless like I was. You're probably like, oh man, you know, I gotta get that Dollar Bill Machine, man. I gotta buy shit. Like, just don't. Just trust me, you will be fine. I assure you, I'm gonna get you through this the best I can, the best I know how to. You know, there's plenty of other strategy guide videos on the internet that you can go watch if mine doesn't exactly tickle your fancy or just not good enough. You know, I'm not going to keep you guys here. That's your choice. Yeah, this shit's probably really bad, like badly commentated like some people say, but, you know, I'm trying to entertain people at the same time as try to help them through a game as well. So right here we got a bunch of money on the table. Go ahead and pick this stuff up. You know, let's loot this damn thing. There is a bookshelf right here. This will have our first gear set behind. If you really wanted to do the trick, you could essentially, I think, do it right now. You could probably do it anywhere, really. Where you could keep restarting the checkpoint until you get that right piece of gear that you want. I think you could do it in any spot, necessarily. So we got Urgent Care, which I forget what that did. I know I just said it, but I'm too far to read it. It has something to do with my shield. I know that. Like, the recharge delay is, like, less. A little bit, like, by 1 second or something, or whatever it was. Either way, it's something I need to have on because gear is going to be important. Also, for anybody wondering, I recorded all these videos, like, last weekend. And also, what am I trying to say? Oh, I recorded 8 videos already. So, yeah, we were 8 levels in. There's technically a total of 40 chapters. I already skipped, like, most of them. I don't know how many areas there are. The chapters are based on, like, areas like this, I guess. So, you know, you get the blue ribbon chapter or something. Some bullshit. I don't know. The chapters are just fucking stupid. So I'm going off by level. What I consider a level, and, you know, we'll go from there. So what I do with the Crow boss, sub-boss guy, so he's basically a fireman, but just a lot easier to take down. This guy's a pain in the ass only because he can teleport. What I recommend doing is whipping out your Devil's Kiss, charging it up, and throwing it on the ground. Just immediately when you get in the room. So that way, whenever he starts storming in, you can just lure him to like a bomb if you wanted. He is almost incredibly weak to fire. It's stupid how, you know, weak ass he is. This right here, Murder of Crows, is one of the best freaking Vikers in the game, but it's the most underused. No, it's good. It's good to use. Don't get me wrong. It essentially stuns enemies for a good while. So that's essentially what it does. It's a great combination that you can use with like fire or just anything else, really. But the charged attack, it puts down a trap like that, and then they all just blow up into, you know, crows. And it does do damage though. It does do damage. it's pretty good, especially on handyman and stuff. You know, the bigger guys that give you more trouble, because at least then they're distracted with attacking the crows rather than attacking you. Because I think, like, when they're probably on fire, they probably still want to beat your ass. Most Vigors in this game, at least a few I can name, pretty much they do what they would, you know, normally do anyway, which is just stun enemies. For example, you know, Electroshock, like Shock Jockey. Yeah, like Shock Jockey. That's a cool one, too. You know, dude, all the Vigors are cool. I love the Vigors in this game. I love this game's gameplay, no doubt. But yeah, like that essentially is just literally just a stun ability. That's pretty much it. And then, you know, the fire ability pretty much just burns them while they're, you know, not necessarily stunned, but they just, you know, burn them over time. And then, you know, Murder of Crows just practically stuns them. Well, it pretty much just confuses them or just keeps them from shooting you. So I call that a stun. And, you know, they also take damage from it too, and you can shoot them while they're being attacked. So that really does help. Murder of Crows is a great power, though. Great Vigor, though. No doubt, no doubt. A lot, like, essentially all the Vigors are pretty good, in my opinion, except for the Charge Ram, I think it is called. The Charge one, the Ram attack, and then there's the fucking Cthulhu one. You know what I'm talking about? The squid one, the water one they use. It's cool, but it's not something I necessarily use all the time. Unless it's like charged up, I think you can actually bring enemies toward you, so that can help too. That's pretty much this game's telekinesis, but you don't get that until like the end of the game. Yep, this game took out telekinesis for Bucky Bronco, pretty much. That's what I think it did. It had telekinesis in the beginning. If you guys remember the trailer, it had telekinesis. You could do it, but then they took it out, so... This game is much different than what we were going to get. Like, oh, man, I still want to fight in that bar, but you can't. It's just sad, dude. It's sad. But anyway, guys, we're pretty much getting near the end of this video, it seems like. So, I think next up will be Monument Island. Monumental Island, Monument Island. Whatever it's called. Doing these videos... They're a lot different than, you know, Ninja Gaiden is, so I can't just have like the chapter name come up. I can, but I just didn't because I was stupid and forgot to, you know, do the loading screens. So that way I can at least tell what the fuck I'm recording, you know. But hey, I have a Steam wiki thing on the side, so I can basically check the names of the levels if I need to. Yeah, this level's a little bit harder than the last one, of course, but not too terrible. The next one's easy. Short, it's short as well, and so is the next one after that, and so is the next one after that. The ones I have in my project right now. So anyway, guys, without further ado, see y'all next time. So take care, everybody.